Hello and welcome to Curtain Calling Coffee. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kayla, and today we're talking about our theater experience. Welcome to the first episode.
So, most recent show that I've done, because Kayla hasn't done theater in a year. Yeah,
Yes, it has been a year.
it has been a year. It's been over a year, actually.
Actually, that's a lie, because I helped with theater productions. I just haven't been in a production. Because I helped manage
Whatever.
production.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
That doesn't count.
In Matt's world, it doesn't count, apparently.
Not my world.
Apparently,
Any
you've never been on live television.
world. Apparently, you've never been on live television before. I did the Drowsy Chaperone. It's about this man who sits in a chair and tells about his favorite musical, The Drowsy Chaperone,
That he's never seen.
that he's never seen.
Only heard the music for
Only heard the music
hundreds
for.
of billions of times.
And
knows all the lore.
he knows all the lore except for we came up with new lore.
Oh, yeah, backstage.
Backstage lore.
Okay, I got it.
Backstage
Backstage lore.
Backstage lore was Robert is
Robert.
Robert. I played Robert. Robert is gay, and since it's the 1920s, it was when the musical set.
And like prohibition.
Yeah, and gay marriage is not okay.
Well, duh.
So Robert,
they weren't even allowed to drink alcohol. You think gay marriage is
yeah,
okay?
but so Robert was gay, and Janet was a lesbian.
Oh, Janet, I didn't know that.
Yeah, backstage lore. Robert was gay.
Okay,
Janet was a lesbian. So they decided to get married to hide it, to cover it up. Yeah, and so they just.
And you were in love with your best friend?
And I was in love with my best friend, my best man.
Was actually your partner in real life?
Yeah. So that was the main bit of backstage lore. I don't know if the ensemble came up with backstage lore, because I didn't really talk to them. I was busy.
I didn't really talk to them. I was too busy tap dancing and roller skating.
No, I was busy building the set and painting the set and making the costumes.
Oh, and then repainting the set.
And then repainting the set and then doing the budget again and then repainting the set because we needed to repaint the set again and then doing the budget again because we had to buy more paint. Yeah.
More paint.
I was busy.
He was a busy man.
But so the Drowsy Shepherd was really fun. I got to tap dance and roller skate across stage. And
continue.
What was that face for?
I just wasn't expecting that flavor.
What do you mean that flavor?
Like, it tastes a little different than I thought it would.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, see.
I was
We're
roller
obviously
skating.
drinking coffee. Can you tell?
What? No way. I have Dr. Pepper and coffee because Dr. Pepper is life.
Oh, flipping that.
Dr. Pepper's life.
Flipping that. Okay, anyway, proceed.
But so I roller skated across stage and I kept telling the booth to not turn off the lights so fast. After one scene because I roller skate from one side of the stage to the other at the end, and they would turn off the lights after the lines were said, and then I kept running into the wall because I couldn't see because I had a blindfold
that you could partly see through.
That I could partly see through, but once there was no light, I couldn't see anything.
Well, duh, because there's no light. Nobody can see nothing.
Well, like normally you can see a little bit.
Like barely.
So having a blindfold on that blocks a lot of light.
Oh yeah, already.
I couldn't see. And so I kept like running into the wall, and then I was like, I keep telling them that they need to wait a little bit before they like go to the next cue, and they keep going to the next cue right after the lines are done.
So obviously you got used to it at one point.
Yeah. But our second to last dress rehearsal, they waited, and so I was like, okay, I can go faster next time. And then the next time came, and they went right after the lines were said, and I ran so hard into the wall that it shifted. And Miss Bott said, if you run into that wall, Miss Bott is our staging director. This was obviously a joke. Just to clarify, don't get her fired.
It was sarcastic.
she said, if you run into that wall one more time, I'm going to shove your head through it. And it's like, you probably won't have to if I run into it again.
The banter.
You probably won't have to if I run into it again because
I'll
I'm going to go through the wall.
Or I'll have to be the one fixing it in the first place.
And so that was crazy. It was fun though.
Closing night shenanigans.
Closing night shenanigans. So fun.
Let's hear all about the closing night shenanigans.
Closing night.
I tried to say shenanigans 3 different times. Shenanigans.
Closing night. My scene partner that I tap dance with, who's also my real life partner.
My real life.
He forgot the blindfold closing night. Like, it was not on purpose. So he took his tie off and wrapped it around my head and said, use this as a blindfold. And he didn't leave space for, like, if I find the blindfold, I'll give it to you. So I was like, okay, do I change into the other blindfold or do I just keep wearing the tie? And so I kept wearing the tie.
Which was awesome. It was so funny, actually.
It was awesome.
Because he had like one end over here.
No, both ends were over here. I would like flick them back and forth.
Oh yeah.
I did like a hair flick with the tie because it was pissing me off. So I went. And then, so I had this planned out for a month. My closing night prank was during there's a scene between the drowsy chaperone and Adolfo, and it's right before they go and do the Devil's Tango. Like they talk for a little bit, and then Adolfo sings a song about how he's good at pleasing the ladies, and then they get freaky. And then they get freaky, and so I was like, I am going to roll through this scene, and not say a word, just right through. So, upstage, stage right, to downstage, stage left. Yes. So I roll in right like 2 or 3 lines before.
Let me drop it.
2 or 3 lines before the music starts to give the pit like enough time to like realize, because they're waiting for their cue line. They're waiting for their cue line. I don't want to go right before their cue line because then the cue line will be said and they'll be like, "Oh, we have to go now." So I give them a buffer zone. And
the zone.
I give them a buffer zone. And so I roll through, I don't say a word, and then the actress who played the drowsy chaperone is like, "Oh, he can't see. I'm going to open the door." So she ran over the door.
It was actually it looked like it was completely planned out because I went to 3 out of the 4 shows, and I was like, oh, okay, and I was dying laughing.
Yeah. So she ran over the door because she almost forgot to open the door. Because she was like,
she realized, oh, right, he can't see because he has a tie instead of a blindfold.
Yeah. So she almost forgot to open the door. She opened the door and I went off stage, and then I was just like, that was fantastic. Everybody was cackling, like screaming, laughing. And then at intermission, one of our pit players came back and was like yelling at everybody for the pranks, and I was like, bro, it's a comedy. I was being funny. Everybody laughed the most when I rolled across stage.
I was being funny.
Everybody laughed the most when I rolled across stage for no immediate purpose. I'm trying to find the garden, okay? And you know what? I found it eventually. And so like there were a bunch of other pranks planned for an act 2, but we didn't do them. Cause buzzkill.
Because Mimi Miss Meaty Pants.
Yeah. But it was still fun. We had fun in Act 1, and then we got a little bit more serious in Act 2, but like not that much more serious.
It's kind of stupid though because like I paid to go to closing night because it's closing night. The pranks are what makes it fun. Unless you're going to like a drama, then there's like hardly any pranks because like it's a kind of a serious show. But like comedies, like the pranks are what makes the closing night, and you know if you're like, oh, I'm going to closing night, it's gonna be a little off script.
Yeah.
But this person obviously did not know that.
Speaking of dramas, our play was about the
my
Salem
God,
witch
I
trials.
didn't even mean to segue that.
Our play was about the Salem witch trials. It was A Voice in the Dark by Elizabeth something. I don't know.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't in it.
Yeah, but it's Elizabeth something. Elizabeth Dowry. I don't know. But it's basically off-brand Crucible that's a little bit more school appropriate.
High school appropriate.
Yeah. I was the villain. Everybody hated me.
Don't remind me.
Which was kind of fitting because of the fact that during that semester, everybody hated me. Cause
Right, I remember all.
Because of the whole love drama story situation that was going on. And so it was really fitting that I was the villain because
everybody thought you were the villain in IRL.
Yeah, because I was genuinely getting into character because it felt like everybody hated me, and so it was easier to be like a guy.
Method. he went method.
It was easier to feel like a guy that everybody hated when it felt like everybody hated me. You. It was easier to be a guy that everybody hated. Yeah. Anywho,
it's not public knowledge.
So A Voice in the Dark was like really. It was chaotic. It was horrible, but I enjoyed it.
Slightly traumatizing.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it because of the fact that we got to like do something dramatic.
Oh, yeah, because we've done comedy since I was freshman.
So Voice in the Dark was fun. We got to be dramatic. It was hard because all we had done up to that point was like comedies. Because our classic was a comedy, and then the two musicals before that were a comedy, and then the play before that was a comedy.
I've only ever been in comedy.
So it was like hard to switch to that, except for me apparently because I was.
Because you were literally being bullied.
I was literally being bullied, and everybody was standing up for. Everybody on the officer board was standing up for me, and I was like, I don't care.
Also, everybody on the officer board were your friends.
So they were all like, H-Man, you need to do something, and.
Heck, I told H-Man to do something too.
Oh. Yes, because there was me, Aldalfo, Feldzig, George, and the man in the chair. And that's the amount of guys we have in our theater department. And then the other, like...
We didn't have any guys graduate last year, did we?
No. So A Voice in the Dark was horrible. And then...
And also sort of made in general.
I got to slap a bunch of people and kick people, so I didn't think it was bad.
Oh, true. And you got to creep everybody out.
Yeah. So I didn't think it was bad. I think other people might have, because it was like...
I wanted... Okay, when I was watching... When I was watching and literally wanted to strangle you. I was like, literally, I hate you so much. Like, I hated your character so much. I was like, I really hope you die in a fire. And you get burned at the stake.
I was doing a really good job playing that role. What can I say? My principal, her old principal. I keep saying our like we're in the same school, but we're not.
I am in college.
You had him as your principal for 4 years. I have a
teen now.
Anyway, I almost did that again. Anyway.
Hey, you die.
Anywho, he came up to me the Monday. So the first day.
I don't know why I'm laughing. Just
he came up to me the Monday after we closed our show, and because he went on Friday and he didn't get to talk to me after, so he came up to me on Monday, and I was almost late to class because he was like. It was banned, so I had like 5
I know
minutes.
I was continue.
So, but he was like, I just wanted to congratulate you with how well you played that role. My wife said she wanted to punch you in the face, and my principal had to explain to his wife why that I was like a really nice kid and like I would never actually act like that. And she was like, I don't believe it because he's an asshole. And so it was really funny to hear that. Anyway, before that we did Once Upon a Mattress. What the fuck was that?
My stomach hurts. Okay, it's fine.
Are you a rabbit getting electrocuted by a fence? Like, what the hell?
Rod, I just tweaked out for a second. Oh my god,
She
I
looked-
can't.
Okay, for audio listeners, I need you to look up a video of a rabbit getting electrocuted by a fence. And that's what Kayla looked like just now.
Don't do that if you're driving.
Just set a reminder. Just be
I
like
just set a reminder.
Google or Siri set a reminder to look up a rabbit being electrocuted by a fence.
Oh my god. I don't know why I did that. I can't laugh. I'm sweating. Oh gosh.
Okay, so before that we did a bunch about a mattress.
Say what the mattress is now.
So before that we did OUAM or OUAM or Once Upon a Mattress. We are referring to it as OUAM, so it doesn't freak out again. Before that we did OUAM,
I'm crying.
and I did not like doing that show. Like, I liked the show, and I liked the people in the show, and I liked spending time with them, but I didn't like it because I was in none of the freaking fun numbers. Like, I wasn't in the opening number. I wasn't in the opening number. I wasn't in the...
Watch me just stop myself from singing. Sings the first two words and then panics. Anyways.
I wasn't in the opening of Act 2.
For quiet?
Yeah. I had lines the entire time,
Mhm.
so I couldn't sing.
But you were in Fred.
That was Act 1 closer.
I love
And then I wasn't in Act 2 closer. What really sucked was I didn't get to be in any of the fun numbers.
Except for Fred.
Except for Fred and Spanish Panic.
Oh yeah, you.
But I had to be at the rehearsals where they were learned because some people couldn't be there, and so I would fill in. I would fill in, and then it was just like.
Also, I was driving.
So I
was in most of those. I was in all of those numbers.
Yeah, so I had to be there and basically just do homework unless I was needed. Once Upon a Mattress was kind of a sucky experience for me because I was in none of the fun numbers. But I loved spending.
All of your songs were so catchy that I always have this song.
Yeah, my songs were great. I loved singing them.
I loved that show.
It's a great show.
It's sad that you didn't enjoy it. I mean, it makes
I
sense.
enjoyed it.
It makes sense why.
I enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy the parts where I was just backstage by
I
myself.
want to dance to the ballet.
I just want to dance to the ballet.
He did. Just wanted to dance.
Yeah, so it was fun, and I had a blast putting on the show and like making the show, because not being in the big numbers gave me more time to build a set.
Fair. That you tripped over.
Don't tell people that.
That you actively tripped over even though you built it.
Anyway. Anyway.
I was going to say it again.
It was really fun. I had fun making the show. It's just it was boring when everybody was on stage dancing and I was backstage doing nothing.
Yeah, big sad.
Because all of the numbers that I wasn't in, every single person was in.
No, because
like the big numbers.
You knew exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah. You were gonna be like, yeah, but we only had 4 big numbers.
No, I was gonna say we only had 4 people in very soft shoes.
Oh.
So you played who?
I played Sir Harry, the Chivalric Knight of the Herald.
Yeah, and who was your Lady Larkin?
Lady Lorkin was Kayla's mini-me.
Yeah, which is funny because because she looks like a mini version. She's a shorter version of me with long hair. Like she looks like me. We look very similar. Okay,
Got
we
that
would.
Mormon touch. She's Mormon.
No, no, bro. I would be kicked out so fast. They'd be like, "Oh, you gay?" Bye, Felicia. I don't know. Actually, don't quote me. Don't
Cut
quote
that.
me.
Cut that.
No, keep it in. Keep it in.
Cut that.
Keep it in. I'll listen to me over you. Keep it in. Ah,
It's okay when you have me
but the
review
lore
the video.
became
I'll
the
keep-
lore became that it was incest because from the booth. That was just the booth's lore. They made up lore on their own, and that was that Matt and Julie were incestual
Yeah.
because Julie and I look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I played Sir Harry. Lady Lorkin was Kayla's mini-me. Incest joke. My favorite scene was when we yelled at each other. And at the table read, I was at one end of the table, and she was at the other end.
Crazy intense.
And she was at the other end, and we're yelling across the table. We're not even looking at the scripts. We got the gist of what the scene was, and then we started staring at each other and
God,
screaming at each other. And everybody jumps in their seats, except for Bot and H-Man, because they knew what was happening, because they've read the script a million times.
Because it just started, and we're all like heads in our scripts, and we just hear them yelling, and we're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Some people were like, Matt, are you going to jump over the table and attack her?
That's
No.
kind of animalistic, actually.
No? Why would I jump over the
You're
table
supposed to
and
be
attack
in love
her?
with her.
Yeah, but she just called the princess a chambermaid.
I can't deal with that.
That's,
That's out of the question.
that's preposterous.
I played the jester.
Yeah, and you sang about your dad's
Oh my God.
shoes,
My dead dad's very soft shoes.
and then in the musical the year after that, I sang about my cold feet.
Yep, so we both sang about feet.
In a roundabout way, we both sang about feet.
Don't take that out of context.
If anybody clips this and I find it on the internet somewhere, I will find you. And I will give you a big hug.
I will give you a big hug.
Because
Or
I don't.
put you in a jar.
I'll give you a big hug. And I'll give you a big hug and start talking to. And tell you that it's not nice.
Put you in a jar.
It's not nice to go around clipping people saying they think about feet out of context. Put your jar away!
No, I like my jar.
No!
Oh, so I
Singing
think
about jars.
I played the jester. I sang about my dead dad's very soft shoes. And they were originally going to cut that song. And I begged for the first 3 weeks of rehearsal. I was like, please don't cut it. Please don't cut it. Because they wanted to cut it down for runtime. And because that was like one of the songs that didn't really pertain to the story. But it pertains to my character. It's the reason why I'm a jester, because I have trauma, because my dad is dead. Okay. You looked a little scared.
I'm an actor. I can look scared. I'm not
Shut
scared.
up. Don't talk to me.
Okay. So this is the first and last episode of this podcast because Kayla doesn't want me to talk to her anymore. So bye.
Bro. What? I need to stop reading out the internet memes. I need to make it stop. They were gonna cut it for time, and I begged for 3 whole weeks. I was like, please put it back in. It's my senior year. I really want to sing about my dad and his very soft shoes, okay? And so I begged. And then they were like, okay, we'll have a meeting. So they had a meeting, and they gave me my song back. And I choreographed, and I only got one vocal rehearsal and like the 15-minute break periods to choreograph my song. And when we were first choreographing, improv the whole thing, and Bot was like, I like that. Let's do that. And I was like, I have no idea what I just did, but okay.
Yeah.
Because when you're improving like dance choreography, you're just kind of like going with it, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, I really liked that. Do it again," and you're like, "I have no idea what I just did, but I'll try."
I think it would have been funny
If I
if you
improved every night.
every night.
I actually suggested that, and Adrian goes, "No, over my dead body. I would rather die."
Adrian, why are you buzzkill?
I was like, "Hey, what if I just improv the whole thing?" And he goes, "Absolutely not."
Adrian, why are you buzzkill?
I know. Once upon a mattress was drumroll, please. Servants of Two Masters.
I loved and hated that show at the same time. You want to know why? You should know this.
Oh my god. So this is now a bit that he's not gonna stop.
I hated that show so much. I loved making the set
Why?
because
It was fun.
it was the
that show. I mean, I wasn't in it. But...
it was the first 2-story set that Roosevelt High School has ever had.
So the set was fun, but the show wasn't.
It was fun to build a set. It was fun to paint the set. It was fun to design the set because I designed the set. I designed the set for Servant of Two Masters, Once Upon a Mattress.
They used your design?
I tweaked someone else's. So what happened is...
As you tweak it to fit the stage.
No, what happened is in theater tech, nobody knew how to draw sets, and so they would explain their idea to me, and I would make their drawing because I would make their drawing, and then I would make a 3D render on paper because I know how to draw architecture really well. So I designed a Servant of Two Masters, Once Upon a Mattress, A Voice in the Dark, and The Drowsy Chaperone. But Servant of Two Masters was fun because it was a comedy. That's good.
Well, it's my turn now. So.
Yeah, the Servant of Two Masters was fun because it was a comedy, and all the people in it were like funny, and we were all goofing around. But I didn't like it because I had to basically learn Latin for the freaking part I played.
How much Latin did you speak in that show?
Half of my lines were Latin.
Really? Half of them?
Yeah.
And then the other half was you translating the Latin?
Basically.
Oh. Yikes.
I think a third of them were Latin, a third of them were me translating the Latin for people who didn't know Latin.
And a third of them were English.
And then a third of them were just me talking in English.
In Old English.
Not Old English. Like, kind of Old English, but not really.
Anyway.
Like, when I was talking in Old English, it was me translating the Latin.
Okay.
When I was talking...
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I basically learned how to speak Latin, but don't know anything I said I learned how to read it phonetically on a page, but if you asked me to say a random Latin word, I would only be able to say the words that I know how to say phonetically because of reading them.
And you don't know what they mean.
And I don't know what they mean. And then the musical for Once Upon a Mattress, one of my first lines was Latin.
It was like a fifth line total.
Yeah. One of my first lines in Once Upon a Mattress was in Latin. One of my first few lines was in Latin. And at the table read, I literally fell out of my chair.
He very dramatically fell out of his chair and was pretending to cry. That's what happened.
Yeah, I'm reading along with whoever is talking before me, and then we're at the line right before my line, and they finish reading it, and I go to say my next line, and then I realize there's Latin halfway through it, and I fall out of my chair, and I'm like, oh,
And then after that, H-Man threatened to have you speak Latin every show until you graduate.
Okay. No, and then the show after Once Upon a Mattress, I had to speak Latin again because it was the Salem Witch Trials and they were chanting in Latin. And so I had to help teach everybody the freaking Latin.
That's awesome.
And then H-Man joked about changing.
He got into the bit a little bit too much.
I know. And then H-Man joked about changing one of the lines in Drowsy to be in Latin just to spite me. H-Man, no thank you. 3 shows in a row is enough for me.
Yeah.
Nobody else had to speak Latin.
But then for Phony Tony's, you were like most likely to speak Latin, and it was in Latin.
And it's not even my fault that I was most likely to speak Latin. It's H-Man and Bot's fault for always casting me as the one who has to speak Latin.
Yep. And then my Phony Tony for Once Upon a Mattress was most likely to bend a musical's runtime to her will because they wanted to cut my song, and I was like, no, bro. And then they gave it back, and so that added an extra 5 minutes to the show.
What is 5 minutes in a 2-hour musical?
I know. It was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour 45, somewhere in there.
So Servant of Two Masters was hell because I had to learn Latin. And then everybody, for A Voice in the Dark, when they were struggling with their Latin, they would be like, Matt, can you help me? And I was like, do I look like I want to help you?
No.
No.
No,
And it was hilarious. But it was also annoying. And then before that, we did Charlie Brown.
And you did not like that because you were in ensemble and they had to be there every single day because it was double cast.
It was double cast, and the ensemble wasn't double cast. And so I would learn something one day, and then the next day I would have to relearn it. And so what I think they should have done for scheduling is ensemble comes this day with this cast, right? And they learn it with this cast. And then the next song that the ensemble is with the other cast. So that they didn't have to keep learning it twice. Because once we got further in rehearsal, everybody would know, like, their blocking. Right? And ensemble would be there more often. They would be at every rehearsal for both people. Yeah. And so they could get the kinks out of
or
not
do like
working
half
with
the ensemble one day, half the ensemble another day.
And so actually, ensemble was
that would work for big numbers.
Yeah. So it was annoying to learn something
twice
and then relearn it. And then we have a review day after that. So it was you learn it this day, then the other cast learns it, and then there's a review day for it, and then there's another review day for it. So ensemble learns it 4 times. 4 days in a row. It was really annoying.
Yeah, just sounds annoying.
Yeah. So I did not enjoy Charlie Brown as much as I would have. As much as I would have if it was single cast. And I think if it was single cast, it
probably would have been smoother, and you would have had production would have been faster.
Yeah. But I think the reason that they did it double cast is because they wanted production to go slower, because we normally don't. We've never performed before April.
That's also because they just had the scenes and they just spliced the show together because there was no like timeline because it was just like Charlie Brown scene here, Charlie Brown scene here, Charlie Brown scene, like different like parts of Charlie Brown's life, but it like there was no like set timeline, so they like could rearrange it to create their own timeline.
They didn't do that.
Oh, they did.
No.
No, H-Man said he did.
No.
Okay.
I have the script in order. Straight from the website.
If you say so. I believe you. I believe you. And what was before that?
Before that was Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon.
My nightmare. Oh, wait!
Your nightmare.
Wait, I want to go back to what's on mattress.
Okay, we can go back.
Okay, speaking of nightmares, I had a nightmare one night before off book. That our director, our technical director, Miss Bot, we had our first.
You're good. Keep going.
Okay, we had our first off book rehearsal, and I didn't know any of my lines. I kept calling for line because I knew none of my lines, and she pulls me out of the rehearsal, and she goes, "Kayla, if you don't get it together and figure your shit out, I'm gonna cut you." Okay, and this was like the beginning of spring break, and then the next day, I knew my book, act one of my book so well that I literally dreamt about it the next night, and I was like, perfect for off book. Okay, but when I told Bot and Hman this story, Miss Bot goes, "Oh my god, I actually threatened to cut you," and I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, I didn't know I would resort to so much violence," and I was like, um, "Cut me from the show." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, from the show. Not like physically cut me. I thought you meant like physically cut me, but you meant cut me from the show." And I'm like, "Yes, you were gonna cut me from the show, not physically cut me." Okay, now we can go back to Brothers Grimm's Nightmare Bottom, which was your nightmare as well. Okay, I need to stop. Okay, focus. Lock it. Go.
No, you go first because my story's longer for this one.
I did not. I mean, I sort of enjoyed the Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon. It's just I didn't really know anybody except for the people in my scene and like the people I knew before that. But so it was just like kind of it just felt really hard to like get to know everybody because it was a cast of 52 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people had like a couple of different roles that they were playing, and I just had the one. Because I was also doing softball, so it was a little tough. And I also almost got cut because my softball schedule um and my Brothers Grimm schedule just kept intersecting, and it was rough. And I just didn't know anybody very well with a cast of 52. Because it was the year we got our new director, and it was his first show. And Miss A had favorites. I was one of them.
Yeah, so Brothers Grimm, worst first theater experience ever for me
Big sad.
because of the fact that during rehearsals and during the show, I didn't get to really talk to anybody. Even when we were on breaks, nobody would talk to me because I just looked like I'm sitting there observing because that was my job. I was the audience member. I was supposed to sit there and observe and comment occasionally.
Comment occasionally.
So everybody that
Only on the creepy, like the creepy scenes.
yeah, I was basically screaming about the horse. It's basically what I was doing.
Yeah.
And and it was so annoying because everybody thought that because I just always sit there, I'm like quiet. And I was like, I'm not a quiet person. And then like a bunch of times throughout the production, there was like changes that happened where the audience member had to do something like go pick up a lighter that's thrown because they shouldn't have it. And just like I had to keep changing my schedule to be at rehearsals that I shouldn't have been at because they added something with the audience member.
Because I kept wanting to include you.
Yeah, like I get them wanting to include me, but
it was just like it was unfair to everybody else because you had to sit there already for so long.
yeah. And the one time that I was backstage during the show was right before the lightning round recap, and I had to move a bunch of props and reset a bunch of props because basically what I was doing while I was sitting there at rehearsals that I didn't really need to be at was I was taking blocking notes. So I was basically
Directing.
assistant stage manager
Yes.
by taking blocking notes before I even knew what blocking notes were.
He was looking at my script the other day and he was like, "What the X? CR?"
Cross center right.
You know that now, but you didn't before.
I've known that since my freshman year.
Well, you didn't. You did it before taking those notes, bro.
Yeah. Cross center right.
Okay, moving on.
And so I was assistant stage manager. I didn't get credit for assistant stage manager when I was doing the stage manager's job because the stage manager was doing stuff that didn't need to be done.
Really?
I was assistant stage manager, didn't get credit for it. I was basically, me and you were basically doing all of the set stuff.
Oh yeah.
Me, you,
During when we were like ramping it up before opening night.
yeah. So we were basically, yeah, one night we stayed till like 1 in the morning painting flats.
And then H-Man had to drive us home.
Because your car
Because my
wouldn't
car
work.
would die.
Your car wouldn't
And
start.
then okay, we went to try. I was like, so we went to go home, and my car wouldn't start. So I call H-Man on his work phone because we had his work phone from ThesCon.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
This was before ThesCon.
yes, but I still had his work phone.
Yeah, because he gave us his work phone.
Exactly. And so I call because when we're not supposed to be there, we're supposed to notify him.
Yeah.
So I call his work phone and I'm like, H-Man, my car won't start. And so he's like, oh, okay. So he gets his car, drives all the way around the building, and we put my hood up, or we put his hood up because his like thing had broke because the last time he took it to a mechanic, he broke it. We used my wooden rifle to hold up his hood.
Yeah.
And we tried to jump my car, and it wouldn't jump. So we had to take it. We had to go back over there the next day, and the next day it was a Thursday. The next day, and we had my parents had to try and help jump the car
because it was 1 in the morning and they were asleep.
They were asleep, so we had to go the next day, and they helped me jump my car because H-Man's car didn't work, and he had to drive us home.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we couldn't get home because our parents were both asleep because it was 1 in the morning. On a Tuesday.
So
no, on a Wednesday.
Brothers Grimm was really hard because I didn't get to socialize with anybody backstage while I was waiting for my scenes. Because me waiting for my scenes was watching the show 1.5 million times.
Like, I'm gonna cry just thinking about it.
It was horrible. I hated it so much. Like, I loved the show. It was so funny. I liked watching it. But I didn't like the fact that nobody knew who I was, what I was doing there.
Why is this random person sitting here? And they goofed up the seats, so everybody who's like, you're an audience member, it's in the goofed up seat that is mislabeled.
Yeah. Well, it's not mislabeled. It's got the right label. The label's just upside down.
So it's like, it says seat 80 instead of seat 8.
Yeah. I like strictly sit in that seat. Because I'm so used to walking in the pack and going to that seat.
And Bridget sat in that seat for when she was very briefly in a scene with me for Very Soft Shoes.
Yeah.
For the song.
I like strictly sit in that seat.
Now.
Because I'm so used to walking in the pack, putting my stuff down, and going to seat 80.
Row A, seat 80.
Yeah.
And there's only like 30 seats, actually.
I think there's 36. Yeah, 36.
Okay, you're in there.
Yeah. So, Brothers Grimm was not a good starting show.
For your first experience.
For my first theater experience. Like, I liked I liked the acting and stuff, but I was like, I just feel so disconnected from everybody. I just feel so disconnected from everybody
We
because
got plenty to cut anyway. So.
yeah, I just feel so disconnected from everybody because I don't get to talk to anybody while I'm waiting to go on for my scene. Because me waiting is me sitting
It's
there.
me sitting in my chair.
Yeah. My favorite part though was when I was backstage and we were doing the lightning round recap and I threw that dummy of
Oh,
Peter.
you got to throw the dummy.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was you throwing it.
it was me throwing the dummy because I would
We used that dummy for Super Dead Man.
yeah, I would throw the dummy and then I would have to run to the other side of the stage because right after I threw the dummy, I was supposed to go off on the other side of the stage.
That's fun.
And so one time,
Oh, that's so cute. Or was it the baby? No, somebody threw the baby. I remember the baby.
Porter threw it that way, and then I threw it back the other way. And closing night, we both hit the center mic.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, because it hit it going that
Closing
way.
night was weird because I had a line that I called the queen because I played King 2. I had a line that I called the queen my Pookie Bear or something like that, something along those lines. That was before Pookie Bear was popular.
Yeah.
Might I add. And so I was supposed to say something along the lines of, "Oh, I love you too, Pookie Bear," or something like that.
And you called her Moldy Taco.
No, I said moldy onion.
No, you said Moldy
No,
Taco.
She said a moldy taco. They said a moldy taco.
Is this planned?
No! No, actually it was. We were whispering backstage and we were like, "I'm gonna call you a moldy onion." And she goes, or they go, "I'm gonna call you a moldy taco. Or a rotten taco." And they did not say a rotten taco. But I said the moldy onion. I kept going with the bit that we were gonna go with, and then they did not want to do it. They chickened out on stage, and I was like, "Oh, I love you too, you moldy onion." I am the boss, and I was like, "I'm just gonna do it, moldy onion." H-Man did not even notice. He was just like, "Okay, moldy onion, I guess."
Yeah. So we all okay. Another funny story is during Drowsy.
Back
Not
to
yeah, we have to go back
I
to
said
Drowsy.
drowsy.
We have to go back to Drowsy because it involves hitting the mics. And the first time we hit the mics was in like the fond memory was in Brother's Regret because of the baby flying back and forth.
Proceed.
We hit a mic during color guard practice and it fell. It was Joseph.
Oh, of course it was.
So one mic fell. And then H-Man during Drowsy, a plane comes down from the ceiling.
Which I thought was so cool. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So we had to take down the center mic. Because there's hanging mics above the stage. And so while he took down the center mic, he just took down the other mic because he hates all of them.
Yeah, he always complained about them. We also
so they're gone.
We forgot a Once Upon a Mattress funny story.
The mic that was hanging. What the hell?
Once Upon a Mattress.
Oh, I stuck someone's finger up Kayla's.
A castmate's finger on stage.
On stage
during the show, during our matinee show.
Yeah. Kayla, I tried. Okay. So what was supposed to happen was I was trying to boop Kayla.
Sure.
And then
that's what
when I missed, I was just like, might as well go up.
That's what we'll go with. He was trying to boop me. Uh-huh.
Well, because when I moved her hand, it just went straight into your nose.
Yeah. I think you picked my brain, actually. You gave me a free lobotomy. In the middle of the show.
Yeah, and so they threw the castmates whose finger went up her nose.
Kitchen's holding the finger like this.
It was this hand holding her this hand. So it was
Yes.
like this.
Okay, and he went up my nose with my other castmate's finger.
Yeah, and so after that,
Um,
this castmate played the minstrel. The minstrel's supposed to take off one of my spurs and throw it because she's mad at me
and
for arresting her.
She calls him a fathead. Sir Harry, you're a fathead. And then my line was, yes, yes you are. And I just kept going. I was like, yes, yes you are. And apparently a nose picker. It's too bad that did not get recorded.
Yeah.
Now we must talk about Clue.
I wasn't in Clue. I didn't do Clue.
Are you done? Are we done with Grim?
No, we're not done with Grim.
Oh.
So one night after I threw the dummy and I was running across stage, someone was in the way. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Julie.
That makes sense.
And
no offense, Julie. It just makes sense.
Yeah, we love Julie. And I accidentally touched her butt.
Oh,
like I was running.
Wait, that's funny. Because then you're together.
We are not scissoring in Once Upon a Mattress.
That's not what I meant to do. I meant to go like this, but my finger hurts. So I was like, I'm sorry. I'm making way too many like gestures that are really, really not good.
Bro.
We're gonna get canceled right away.
It's all your fault. I accidentally touched her butt, and I was like, "Sorry, I have to get him." I whispered. I was like, I almost just kept running. I think I did kept running, and then
did kept running.
I kept running.
I
think I kept running.
No, we can't go back to that. You did kept running.
I don't want to hear it from you.
Okay. We'll move on then.
I think I kept running.
You did kept running.
I think I kept running, and I apologize to
after the show.
Her after the show because I was like, I really have to get to my scene. Okay.
It's funny when you do it because you go like this.
That's what you did.
No, I didn't. I went like this.
No, you did this.
No. I won't do it no more. You have me out.
So
also, side note, we are filming this way after La Poo Poo was a whole thing.
No.
I'm just gonna take a nap right here.
Okay.
What you were saying about
Yeah, I think I apologized to her after the fact that she's like, no, it's okay, I got in the way, and you like had to get to your scene, and I was like, well, normally nobody's standing back here because nobody enters from back here, and so when I didn't
what
realize
happened
you
to
were
your
there.
voice when I'm back here?
I'm out of breath.
Breathe, bro. Cut that. Just kidding. Leave that in. Leave that. You need to hear this too. Leave that in. Wait, did you just... Are you holding your breath? What's happening? Okay, stop before you pass out. You were having chest pains earlier. Stop.
Oh, yeah. Cut that. Cut the chest pains.
He had a heart attack. I'm just kidding.
No, I didn't. So
she was like, "What?"
She was like,
it's
"No,
okay.
it's okay. You needed to get your scene," and I think it was the only time someone was standing back there, and it was one of our shows, and she was standing back there because she was like done with her scenes, and she was like collecting props that were back there or something. Because the scene before that was the Cinderella scene, and so there was a bunch of props back there.
See, also my Grimm script is up there.
It's my favorite.
Oh, that's so cute.
So she like did not care at all, and I felt so bad because I was like, but I accidentally touched her
But like,
bum.
I'm sorry. Did that make you cringe? I'll take that. I'd say yes.
We cringe to be free.
To be cringe is to be free. Okay, clue. We have to. Clue. I was stage manager. I wasn't like on stage. But I was stage manager, and there was a lot. There's so many moving pieces for Clue because you have to have doors come out, and then you have people hitting other people upside the head to like kill them. And then you have like there was a wall safe that had to come out, a chandelier that came down. So many moving parts, and we had a table and chairs that came out. There was a ton of moving parts, and we all had like I had like 5 people on each side of the stage, um, but it was a lot of fun. I also like worked on the set and um and whatnot. So there's just a lot of moving parts, and then closing night. This is like the most memorable thing about Clue was closing night. We had a whole wall start to tip backwards, and one of the actors caught it and was holding it, and I saw it happen because the wall was on stage right and I was on stage left, and I saw it starting to tip, and then the actor like caught it and was just like leaning on it, like holding it up, and like just improving it and keeping it in character. So I ran over to the other side of the stage to find somebody to hold up that wall, and then they had to hold. And this was before intermission happened, and they had to hold up the wall for the rest of the show. Meanwhile, I had nobody over there who was available enough on stage right to figure out to like do all of that person's jobs because everybody had specific jobs at and like everything was happening simultaneously. And so I was like, I guess I'm just gonna have to do it. So I was running because all of my jobs were stage left and stage center because we had a couple of things that were happening in center stage. So I was doing all of the stuff stage left, stage center, and stage right, and doing all of that person's jobs for the rest of the night. And it was kind of stressful because there was one where I would bring out the wall safe, and then I had to go to the other side of the stage to bring out a door. So like for this person, because the doors were hard to maneuver, and so was the wall safe. So you had to have 2 people on each one. So I took out the wall safe, ran all the way back around backstage, and then took out the door, and then ran all the way back around to put the wall safe back, and then ran all the way back around to put the door back. It was my own personal hell. Actually, it was actually kind of fun because you see the runner, she's a track star. And that was fun. Okay, and then the show before that, was the Creepy Creeps of Pilgrim Road, and I was just the spotlight.
Spotlight.
I was the spotlight. And we did like Sources of Strength, which is like a suicide prevention and like school culture building club thing, right?
Yeah.
And we had the training for that, and the like trainer for Sources of Strength that from like the Sources of Strength like organization came to the school, and she was like, what's something really memorable that happened recently when we were like doing like big introductions and whatnot. And I was like, I was the spotlight for our school musical. And she was like, oh my gosh, you were the spotlight. And she remembered me for the rest of the time, all 3 years from that point on, because we had the same trainer. And that always makes me giggle a little bit. Then the musical before that was the Fearsome Pirate Prank, which I was not in. That was the only show in my entire 4 years of high school that I was not in.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Where?
Servants?
I was also not in Servants. That's the only...
You weren't in Charlie Brown.
Oh, I wasn't in that either. I tried to be stage manager for that, but Brie kind of came in first. So the last show, my very first show was Who's Died to Be a Millionaire, and I played Sophie Mondello, who was a crazy cat lady, which is ironic because I'm kind of allergic to cats, just a little bit, not like straight up did that on purpose, and I'm gonna hurt him.
It's okay. We'll put him in a jar later.
We'll put him in a jar. Straight up, just a smidge allergic to cats, which I thought was funny. So I played a crazy cat lady and who confessed to everything. And during opening night when I folded all of our playbills, and our director came in and she was like, "Oh, who folded all of the playbills?" And I was like, "It was me." And she goes, "Great, you're already in character." And like the first week, I knew all most of my lines because I was like, "It was me. I did it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was me. I did it." Somewhere along those lines, some rendition of "It was me. I did it. I'm sorry." Yeah. Oh, my very first high school show, I wore pigtails that were backcombed. And my very last high school show, I also wore pigtails. They weren't backcombed though, but I wore pigtails, and they were curly and really cute.
My very first high school show, I wore all black.
And you sat me on.
And I sat in the audience, and no one knew that I was in it until scene 4
I
back
left to the
home.
old auditorium because we got a lot more audience interaction because we could run through the audience. You can't really do that as much.
We're not allowed to run anymore. But for Once Upon a Mattress and Drowsy Weird People in the booth that walked down the stairs.
Yeah, which is cool, but it's really fun when we get to like get really in the audience. Maybe we should do a Star Kid show.
No.
Yes.
He won't do that.
I would love it. So that's the end of our show. Today.
A 1.
I don't know how to close this.
A 2. 2.5. 2 3/4. 3.
I was lame as fuck.
I was making Harry Potter reference.
Oh.
With the way I was counting.
I really...
The Jamaican head?
Okay, so basically what our show is going to be is we're going to talk about pretty much anything entertainment.
We're going to talk about shit.
Video games, TV, movies, radio, music, podcasts, board games, books, all of the things. So comment down below what you want us to talk about. So we're gonna be releasing an episode every Sunday, at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Why did I do that? 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Oh, I'm gonna have so many clips from this. This is awesome. Anyway.
Yeah. Actually.
Actually, they'll be released at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
MTD.
Every Sunday. And yeah, so comment down below what you want us to talk about. I'll mostly be talking about the books, and you'll mostly talk about cooking, because cooking is also something we'll talk about. And I'll also talk about true crime.
The only book she's not talking about is Harry Potter. That's me.
Yeah, because Matt wants to talk. He has so many things to say about Harry Potter. Maybe that should be our next episode. Pitch, boom, catch. Whoa. It's like...
No.
Oh, I have a Hufflepuff cloak. Hear me out, we wear cloaks.
Hear me out, I wear my Gryffindor tie.
You can wear your tie and a cloak.
I don't have a cloak.
You can wear my red one.
No.
That I wore when I was Jane from Twilight for Halloween.
That was weird, dear.
That's weird.
Why did the color code decide that we should all dress up together?
Guess whose idea it was?
Probably Jolene.
Yeah, it was exactly her idea. Weren't you Alec?
I was whatever I was.
Oh, whatever.
I was just there.
What else just saying? Okay, so we will see you next week. Ta-da!